Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I am doing a reading about this whole P Diddy situation. I'm sure that you guys have probably seen what has been going on. There was a video released showing him blatantly abusing Cassie in a hotel, and the video was just extremely disgusting, disturbing, and very graphic. And if you haven't seen it, I'm just giving you a trigger warning right now. It's disgusting. Like the way that he was hitting that girl, like just despicable behavior, demonic behavior. And then he ended up issuing a public apology, and the whole thing is just disturbing, like on a very deep level. So I wanted to quickly pull cards for this situation. I don't want to tap too much into that man's energy, like I really don't, but I do feel like I just wanted to, like, I just felt intuitively pulled towards pulling cards for this situation, and also just pulling cards for what this means to the collective. Because when things happen to celebrities, or when celebrities get exposed for certain things, that usually does indicate that there's going to be a collective shift that's happening, and it's going to be an ongoing theme that's going to play out in other aspects of society. So yeah, that's what I wanted to do. So we're going to look at his energy really quickly. Again, I'm not tapping too deep into this at all. I do not want to connect too much with his energy at all. And then we're going to look at what this means for the collective. So he is coming up as the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse and the Change card in the reverse. So, I mean, that is pretty self-explanatory. The Change card being in reverse, this man has not changed. He is apologizing, but he has not changed. And the Change card being in reverse, it's so straightforward. It's like, it's crazy how blatant this is coming out. So he has not changed. He knows that right now his legacy is tarnished. He knows that his money is messed up. I think that's one of his main concerns, is like his money, his investments, and things of that sort, but also his legacy, like the things that he feels like he's worked so hard to build, like he's seeing it coming crashing down. So he's more concerned about himself, for sure. Like he's more concerned about, about, just like I said, the things that he has built kind of coming to an end is what I'm seeing. So I also pulled the Sorrow card and the Postponement card. So this has definitely been stressing him all the way out. Like I'm seeing him actually crying, like actually shedding tears over this. And again, it's just because his reputation, his legacy, his money, all of that, he sees it like flashing before his eyes. So I'm not really seeing that there's any like tears for the victims at all. It's like tears for himself, pretty much. So I see him being in kind of like an isolated space and just being very, very upset, very like feeling like he's very hurt. That's how he's feeling. He's feeling like he's hurt. Ridiculous. The Postponement card lets me know that he feels like he can redeem himself, though. Like he really feels like he, in the eyes of the public, he can turn this around. Like he's seeing it as like, okay, things may be gray right now, but like they can improve later on. And when I say gray, that's because in the Postponement card, it's like gray colors in the card, and then you see like a little patch of color off in the distance. It's like someone looking into the distance. They're in a gray headspace, but they're looking into the future and they see color. So they're like hopeful that things can turn around. And that's what I'm seeing for him. He's hopeful. So the Queen of Cups is coming up in the reverse, the Patience card, and the Queen of Pentacles. He is going to try to appeal to women. That is his main target audience in terms of his redemption, is that he's going to try to appeal to women. In his mind, if he can get women to forgive him, or if he can get women to see him in the light of like, oh, he redeemed himself, or he went to therapy, or like if he can get women on his side, he feels like then he'll be fine. I feel like there are already, first of all, a bunch of people have completely unfollowed him. They want nothing to do with him, right? Nobody wants to be associated with this man, right? But there are a couple of men who have publicly come under his post and who have like basically supported him. So there are, put it this way, there are abusive psychopaths in the industry that we all know that they ain't shit, and they're going to be publicly basically supporting him. And that's already been happening. Like Stevie J from Love and Hip Hop, well, he's a producer, but we know him from Love and Hip Hop. He commented on Diddy's post pretty much and supported him. So that's what I mean. Like men like that who like we see it and we're like, oh, not surprised, right? But he doesn't feel like he can redeem himself from like with men like that supporting him. He doesn't want that support from them. Not that he would turn their support away, but what he really feels like he needs is the support from women. He feels like if he can get support from women, then he'll be fine. And I feel like he has seen this in the industry before. Like there's like certain people in the industry that have done terrible things, have abused women, and who have, you know, been shunned pretty much because of it, or who has been their legacy, their reputation has been tarnished because of it. But then there's still women who like fawn over them, women who are still like their number one fans. For example, Chris Brown. I mean, he still has a lot of female friends, a lot of female fans, who stan him. And those are the main ones. Like if you go on any post that's talking about Chris Brown, you will see the women in the comments like, oh my God, is he going to have to pay for this forever? Like once you can touch a woman's heart and like get into her soft space, she will defend you harder than any man. Like that's the thought process that I'm seeing in the cards. If you can play on a woman's sympathies and convince her that you've changed, and you know what? Oh my God, I'm getting like this very disturbing message of like trying to appeal to women who maybe they themselves have been abused and they have like, what is it called? Like Stockholm syndrome when it comes to their abusers. So they're more likely to have a soft spot for abusers and they're more likely to stand up for an abuser. Women like that, and I know y'all know exactly what type of women I'm talking about. These are women who, like I said, maybe they have some allegiance to people who have abused them, to men who have abused them, or they're like misogynistic women as well. Those types of women. I hope that y'all are understanding what I'm saying. It's the ones that like they have a soft spot for abusive men, and it's from a place of trauma. Really, sometimes it's from a place of misogyny as well. But a lot of times from a place of trauma. And it's like, those are the women who want to believe that abusers can change. And so they will be the ones to cape for the abusers. That's what I'm hearing. Or it's like the women who they never got a chance for, they always wanted their abuser to change and he never did. So they will jump at the opportunity to forgive any abuser that issues an apology, because it's like, oh my God, this is the apology that I would have wanted from the person who abused me. You see what I'm saying? This is playing on women. Like this is playing off of women's energy and wanting to have a redemption arc based off of the soft spot of women, especially women who have experienced trauma, women who have like, yeah, this energy is a lot. This energy is a lot to take in. But yeah, this man really does think that he can redeem himself. He really thinks that he can just turn this all around. And on top of that, like he has the healing card and the Queen of Pentacles card. So in his mind, he really thinks that because he hasn't done anything like this in a little while, that it absolves him of the fact that he's done it in the past. He's justifying it in his mind. He's justifying it as like, I did this in the past. It's been so long ago that I can't even be charged for it. That's how long ago it is. And everybody can grow. Anybody can grow. Like, that's kind of what I'm hearing from him. What is his birth chart? Let me pull up his chart real quick, because this man is delusional. Hold on one second. I think he is a Scorpio. This man is a manipulator. Like, Scorpio, Sun, Virgo, Moon. How did I know? How did I know that Virgo was going to be in there? This is the low vibration of Virgo. And if any of you are Virgos out there, don't take offense to this, but this is like the dark side of Virgo. The extreme lack of accountability, or being able to convince yourself that you are in the right, or being able to convince yourself of like, well, that was the past and that's it. It's like Virgo is the sign of boundaries. So like having a very clear divide, a very clear line. So the shadow side of Virgo is that they can put a boundary up between they're present in their past to the point where they feel like they're completely absolved of what they've done in the past. Like the boundary is so strong between their present and their past. It's like, yeah, I'm moving on. And yeah, that's how I was before, but not anymore. And that can obviously be used as a good thing when you want to transform. But it's obviously used in a very low vibrational demonic way when you're separating your past from your present and you've terrorized people and abused people and traumatized people and they're still suffering and you haven't actually taken accountability for it whatsoever. You haven't paid for it at all. You haven't been to jail for it. Like, and then you're just like, oh yeah, well, that's me in the past. He's putting a very strong, I'm seeing like a divide in his mind where he's like, that was then, this is now. That's exactly probably why he tried to change his name to Love. He likes to split when it comes to like things that he's done in the past. Like he'll kind of split and create a different personality. And no, I'm not talking about people who have dissociative identity disorder. This is definitely not that. I'm talking about like, he likes to, like, he does something horrendous and likes to just say, well, I'm creating a new persona and I'm moving on, and like putting this strong boundary up between who he used to be and who he is now. Like, okay, my name is Love now. Remember when he changed his name to Love? My name is Love now. And Love doesn't do the things that Diddy did. You see what I'm saying? This man is sick. That is so the low vibration of Virgo. Like I just knew, I could feel it that he had Virgo in his chart. He's also a Capricorn Mars as well. So he is completely and totally driven by money, power, fame, success. He's completely driven by that. And this man is cold. He's cold-hearted. He is cold-hearted. And he's vengeful as hell with all of this Scorpio energy in his chart. Moon at 8 degrees, he is a vengeful person as well. You piss him off, he's going to put a hit out on you type of vengeful. So in terms of the collective, moving forward, we have the Strength card, we have the Wheel of Fortune card in the reverse. So with the Strength card being here, I feel like a lot of victims are feeling more empowered to speak up, for sure. That's the shift that I'm seeing in the collective. A lot of people who felt disempowered before, they're now having the power to come forward and to speak about what they have been through. It's like a victory almost for people who have experienced this type of abuse behind closed doors. I see a lot more people being exposed, like a lot more abusers being exposed. And that goes for in the industry, but that also goes for just in the collective in general. Like, for example, you might log onto Facebook and see your neighbor getting exposed, like your neighbor's wife posting and being like, he's been beating me. Like, yeah, like that, like people just exposing the hell out of their abusers, and feeling very, very empowered because of it. Now, I'm not saying that when that happens, like the victims are automatically going to be healed, because I do see that it kind of starts a new chapter of healing for them, or it starts a new phase in their life. Because once you come forward and once you reveal either to the public or maybe just to your family, like it doesn't have to be that people come online and expose their abusers. Sometimes it's going to be that they just, they address their abusers. Like, I remember what you did to me. Or they'll tell their family and friends, like, hey, I have something to tell y'all about this man that I've never told y'all before. Or this woman, abusers can be any gender. But it's like, once you come forward and talk about it, it opens up like a whole can of worms, especially if you've been like repressing it. So I'm not saying that it's going to automatically heal them by coming forward, but it's going to be the first step towards healing. But community is definitely needed for sure with this. Because it can, like, I'm seeing that some people can speak up and then afterwards not know what to do afterwards with the feelings that come up. So I think having like community and having community support and even having like professional support could be very beneficial for people in the collective who are going to be like speaking up and facing these unfortunate things that have happened to them. Let me pull one more. Playfulness card. Yeah, this year, y'all, there's nothing funny about this year. Like, this Saturn year is a year where people are just going to be really turning inward in order to heal themselves. Like, all of the distractions, all of the escapism, all of the fun, the playfulness that people indulge in order to kind of escape from the things that they've gone through, it's like a lot of people will not be able to do that this year. And I think that's a large part of the reason why, you know, this situation happening and like Cassie being so brave to come forward was crucial. Like, it was crucial for this to happen this year, because I feel like this is a year that a lot of people, like, they're pulling strength from that situation, because they're fully aware that the energy, like, intuitively and subconsciously, they're fully aware that the energy of this year is a very serious energy that comes with a lot of serious healing. And it's like, it's time to face what's going on. It's no more escaping into things that make us feel good. No more escaping into like the going out to drink, substances, relationships, sex. Like, no more escaping to these things that make us feel good in the moment. It's like we are going in and really, really healing ourselves and seeking out the resource to heal ourselves. Like, I'm getting the energy in the cards is like, there's nothing funny anymore. Like, there's nothing funny anymore. Nothing was ever funny about trauma, obviously. But the ways that we have been able to escape and the ways that we've been able to suppress those resources are just not there anymore. And like, we're all being called, or a lot of us are being called to really have to, like I said, go inward and face these things head on. And a large part of that is going to be a lot of people in the collective facing the abuse that they have experienced and letting it come to the surface, letting it out that it happened, and then seeking out the resources to recover. And it's going to be work. 10 of Wands is going to be work, but it's going to be worth the work because of the peace that's going to come on the other side of it. Instead of having to constantly bury that trauma, it's like finally letting it come up, finally letting it be released, finally seeking out the resources to be able to release it from our nervous systems and from our bodies so that we can find peace and come out on the other side of this as I'm not going to say a healed person, because obviously healing it's not something that's like a one-time event, but really just coming out on the other side of this as someone who can have peace of mind. And also coming out the other side as someone who is a survivor that can help other people on their journey as well. That's something I'm seeing too. A lot of survivors being in this healing and recovery and reaching back and helping other people who are struggling with the same things. And for some, like, I'm getting the slowing down card. So for some people, it's like this happened so suddenly. This was so like, it just happened so suddenly where no one really saw it coming. Like, this shift in the collective where these abusers are being exposed, no one really saw it coming. And it's like, because of the shift happening so abruptly, it's making a lot of people feel a little bit uneasy. But at the same time, it's like, it's time. Like, it's time to speak up. It's time to let this out. It's time to actually heal, especially on a collective level. So that's what I'm seeing. I really hope that this was helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, also, if you ordered a reading, the emails are going out tonight. Your confirmation emails, that tells you exactly when you are, like the exact date you're getting your reading. And also, if you ordered a social media audit, some of you ordered and didn't fill out the order form. Like, you sent the money and not the order form. So I'll try to email y'all as well. But make sure you get your order form in so that I can do your social media audit. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that it was helpful. And I will see you guys in my next reading.